Let me tell you a truth that most people will go their whole lives without realizing. The top 1% don't just make money differently, they manage it differently. And here's why that matters to you. You can work hard, you can grind for decades, you can get promoted, even start a side hustle. But if you don't learn to manage money like the wealthy, you'll always feel like you're stuck on the hamster wheel, running hard but never actually getting ahead. That's the painful reality most people live in, living paycheck to paycheck, wondering why saving feels impossible, and believing wealth is just about earning more. But the wealthy, they play a different game. Think about it for a second. Employees trade time for money. That's the game 99% of people play. But the wealthy, they put their money to work. They don't just earn, they own. And here's the good news. You don't need millions to start playing their game. You just need a framework. That's why I created something I call the 25-15-50-10 rule. It's a simple money management system that allows anyone, no matter their income, to start managing money like the 1%. Because wealth isn't about how much you make, it's about how much you keep and how fast you grow it. Comment "I'm in" if you're ready to take control of your money like the 1%. And if you're not subscribed yet, hit that button. Consider it your first investment. Zero cost, unlimited returns. So let me break it down for you. Step 1. Growth 25%. The first 25% of your income should go toward growth assets. This is the most important category because this is the money that works for you while you sleep. And the wealthy understand this better than anyone else. Now, let's be clear. Growth doesn't mean buying new gadgets, upgrading your phone every year, or spending on flashy cars to look rich. That's how people stay broke. Growth means putting money into assets that either rise in value or generate cash flow. That could be index funds, real estate, high-income skills, businesses. Here's why this 25% is so critical. Albert Einstein once called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, and he wasn't exaggerating. Let's take a quick example. If you invest just $500 a month starting at age 25 with an average 10% return, the historical return of the stock market, by the time you're 55, you'll have over $1.1 million. But if you delay just 10 years and start at 35 instead, by 55, you'll only have $378,000. That's less than half, just because you waited. This is why the 1% prioritize growth before lifestyle. They understand that every month you delay is costing you thousands down the line. Step 2. Stability 15%. Next, you take 15% of your income and put it into stability. Think of this as your financial armor. It doesn't make you rich directly, but it prevents you from getting knocked back to zero. See, most people don't lose wealth because they made a bad investment. They lose wealth because life hit them unexpectedly. A car breaks down, a medical bill arrives, they lose their job, and because they have no cushion, they're forced to dip into credit cards, take loans, or cash out investments at the worst possible time. This one mistake destroys years of financial progress. That's why the 1% never let setbacks push them back to zero. They've built an emergency cushion that absorbs the hit. The rule of thumb here: aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved in a high-yield savings account, somewhere you can access instantly, but where your money still earns interest. And don't overlook insurance as part of stability. Health insurance, car insurance, even disability insurance. These are all forms of financial armor. The wealthy don't see insurance as a waste of money. They see it as risk protection, because when life throws a curveball, and it always does, they don't panic. They just keep moving forward. Step 3. Essentials 50%. Now let's talk about the biggest category. Essentials. Half of your income, 50%, should cover your core living expenses. That means rent or mortgage, food, and groceries. Utilities, transportation, healthcare. Notice what's missing from that list. Eating out 5 times a week, Uber rides because you didn't want to walk, subscriptions you forgot you signed up for. Those aren't essentials. Here's where most people fall into the trap. Lifestyle creep. Every time they earn more, they spend more, they get a raise, they upgrade their car, they land a bonus, they move into a bigger apartment. Their income goes up, but so do their expenses. So even though they're earning more, they still feel broke. That's why even doctors, lawyers, and executives making 6 figures often live paycheck to paycheck. The 1% think differently. They lock in their lifestyle and let their investments, not their salaries, pay for upgrades later. For example, instead of buying a $50,000 car when they get a raise, they might invest $50,000 into an asset that generates $400 a month. Once that investment is covering the car payment, then they buy it. That's the difference between the wealthy and the middle class. The middle class buys first, hopes to pay it off later. The wealthy invest first and let the assets pay for luxuries. Step 4. Rewards, 10%. Finally, let's talk about the fun part, rewards. Because here's the truth, money is pointless if you never enjoy it. This is where most financial advice goes wrong. Some gurus will tell you to cut every coffee, stop eating out, and live like a monk until you retire. That's not realistic, and it's not how the wealthy live either. The wealthy actually budget for fun. They know that 10% of their income can be guilt-free spending. Vacations, hobbies, dinners out, concerts, nights out with friends, experiences with family. The difference is that they cap it. It's not endless splurging, it's controlled indulgence. And here's the secret. This 10% actually makes it easier to stay disciplined with the other 90%. Because you don't feel deprived. You're enjoying life today while still building for tomorrow. The balance is what makes the system sustainable. Recap. So, let's put it all together. Goes to growth, 15% goes to stability, 50% goes to essentials, 10% goes to rewards. That's the 25-15-50-10 rule. And here's why it works. It forces you to think like the 1%. It flips the script. Instead of spending first and saving later, the 99% strategy, you invest and protect first, then enjoy what's left. It's not about chasing the next hot stock or buying lottery tickets. It's about building a system that automatically creates wealth. So ask yourself this: are you managing your money like the 99% who spend first and hope for freedom later, or like the 1% who invest first and let their money buy freedom for them? If you're serious about building wealth, don't wait for the perfect moment. Start applying this system today.